you go to a point of you're afraid you're going to die because they tell you have stage 4 cancer and you're going to make it till maybe the holidays, and you might make it a few more months beyond that, but there's no anticipation that anything else might come of it. And so you live in fear for a while. So this program kind of builds your self-confidence back up and your will and those sorts of things. So it's really good.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm Julie Grosvenor. I am the lead for the Living Strong, Living Well program, which is a Stanford cancer survivor program that works with the YMCA. It is a strength-based program that has been designed for cancer survivors. And so we are actually teaching people to recondition their body after they've gone through chemo or radiation and surgery. Sometimes they can be participating while they're still in chemo. So it would be a little bit of cardio activity, whether that's a bike, running, or walking. And then we move them onto weight circuits where we're going to be building up the muscle strength as well as the bone density that they've lost during chemo. And we close with a wind down of stretching, maybe Pilates, yoga, or meditation.
Well, it was created about 12 years ago, and it has an interesting beginning, I think. I went down to a conference at Dallas about 12 and a half years ago on physical activity and cancer, and it was the first conference that was on those two subjects combined. But then at the very end of the conference, some people got up and started talking about some research that was just beginning to come out that exercise could be very, very helpful for cancer survivors. So when we started the program, it was from that conference actually that we got the idea, well, gee, why don't we start a program like that at Stanford, an exercise program for cancer survivors? And that was the impetus that we started the program with.
It is the most amazing experience, actually. I've been doing this for the past 6 years. And the difference that exercise makes in their lives when they have been so fatigued, fearful of death, lost a lot of their normal coordination and sometimes motivation to get up in the morning, to see where exercise solves not only their physical health, but also their mental health and emotional health, it is amazing.
So my name is Kim Bailey, and I am a breast cancer survivor. So I came into the Live Strong program actually before my second surgery. So I wanted to get stronger before the second surgery. So a little bit was yes, I'm becoming stronger, but when you're going through a journey with cancer, like just the whole idea of like I'm coming through this and I'm becoming better was huge. To me, this program was life-changing for me. Yeah.
Well, Stanford and the Y have a great relationship as a partnership in this program. They supply the facility, the Y, and they also supply the trainers. And all the trainers are certified fitness trainers in order to be working at the Y. But then they come to Stanford and we do additional training on cancer supportive care. We have a rehabilitation oncologist come in from the Palo Alto Medical Foundation. We have a clinical oncology dietitian come in and talk about nutrition. So we give them additional training, and it's a good partnership. I think we're both very happy with the partnership.
Oh yeah, when I got finished with chemo and radiation, I was a real professional at sitting on the couch. I didn't have strength to really do anything, but just things like operating a motorcycle and playing golf and do the things that I normally like to do weren't possible until I started to rebuild the muscle.
Cancer and the chemo after cancer actually reduces muscle mass and can reduce your bone density. So strength training is the exercise that will help maintain your strength and your muscle mass and your bone density. So that's why we emphasize it, and it's a very, very key part of our program.
Well, I would say that my strength overall, especially, again, it was large muscles that took the hit. So that my thighs and my glutes and my pecs and my back, they were all not strong at all. And I feel stronger and I see more tone and definition. And so that's very encouraging.
So yeah, I mean, I get a lot more out of this sometimes, I think, than they do. They strengthen me to see them conquer some fears, to be able to walk by their side, to be able to teach them about health and fitness, and to teach them a new skill of being strong. And if they decide that they're going to run a race, or even if they're just going to decide to be consistent and keep going to the gym to change their life, many times people have never been in a gym before. And so if that's a lifestyle health change that I've been a part of, win all the way around and makes my day, makes my year. I love my job.
And actually, I hadn't worked out in the gym for ever, no, for a long time, probably since college. So I was a little bit nervous of, whether I could do it and, how I would be able to handle it. Yeah, but the program was perfect for me. So my aha moment of all this is that I took my family to Europe and I could make it up those hills. I walked, all over Germany and all over Spain, and I was not huffing and puffing when I got up the 200 steps that I walked. I was like, yeah, so.
On the positive side, somebody who was having panic attacks of not wanting to come in and would cry in the middle of it and say, I can't do it, to being somebody that I would see 3 or 4 times a week, that has been a powerful experience. Someone who just really does great, or comes back and they will tell me that their latest scan is all clear, and that'll go on for years and years.
I was experiencing probably a little bit of depression, and I was feeling kind of isolated and lonely because not everybody understood what I was going through. And everybody kind of wants you to get back to your old way of being, and it's hard for them to understand that when you go through having the surgery and then you're supposed to be okay, that your life is totally flipped upside down. So the exercising and coming together with 12 other women and men who were going through what I was going through was great, because it was a support group. People knew, we knew what each person was going through, and it felt so good to be with them, to be in a community where you didn't have to worry about putting on a happy face, or if you had a bad day, you could just be you and people would get it.
Another difficult part of living strong and living well is that sometimes people don't make it, and that's been really, really hard. One of my more unusual and special experiences, I think, was with a man by the name of Stephen, who was very ill when he was in the group, but certainly fighting. It wasn't long after that I was sitting at my desk and I picked up the phone, and Stephen actually was calling me to thank me for the program, but he was also calling me to say goodbye. And again, drawing on pieces and parts of you and how you care for people and how you're interested in people matters in this job. And I was very moved. I was very, very moved at his kindness, but also knowing that he was coming into his last days, that he would take the time to connect with me. And so it's actually been a pretty powerful experience. Yeah.
San Francisco has just notified us, and they have a whole new association of WISE, and they want to be part of the Living Strong, Living Well program. Right now we've been in the Silicon Valley Association of WISE. 10 different WISE are in that association. And so that's what we're starting to do with San Francisco.
I wish more people knew about it. It's getting out there to the oncologists and physical therapists and to different people. Right now it's really mostly word of mouth. Some doctors are telling their patients about this program, but I think oncologists are so focused on the person that's in front of them, they kind of forget to talk about what comes afterwards. And if I could do anything, it would be teaching the doctors about this program and showing them the results and having them emphasize for their patients from the very beginning, how are you going to take care of your body in this process? Not just about the drugs, not just about the dates and the times of when they need to show up for chemo or the dramatic side effects, but let's talk about what you can do through exercise. I mean, we're finding in so many studies with cancer that exercise being put into the regimen, whether it's during, before, or after they're going into treatment or surgery, have huge, huge benefits for them, psychologically, health-wise, recovery, and it also is showing that it has a lack of recurrence of having that cancer return once your body becomes fit. That's a big deal.